Hey guys, well we are at Fort Lincoln State Park here in Mandan, North Dakota, or outside there, and we're going to kind of give you a quick look around the state park and the campground which we drove through on the way here. I'll kind of give you another look of where our van is parked here. But anyways, it's Memorial Weekend and this place is pretty packed. We're gonna not pay the $20 cost to camp here. We do have a state park pass for a year, so we can come and go with our little pass. We pay that annually, but the campgrounds are a little expensive here, so we're probably just gonna do some boondocking along the river for free. But anyways, we're gonna go and take the dogs. We're gonna go take the dogs on a walk along the hillside here in some secluded little woods that it's pretty nice down there. So in this video, we're just kind of show you around the park and kind of take you with us today. So see you in a little bit. All right, we're finishing up our walk here. As you can look, this is kind of the secluded trail we've been walking on. Just came from down that way. We're gonna go head up to the blockhouses and give you a quicker look at those. They're kind of the main protection of the fort that used to be up here. Pretty neat. So let's go take a look at them and I'll give you a closer look. So we'll go take a look, and you can walk inside of these things, and all those little slots right there is where the soldiers could stick their rifles through to shoot at any incoming attacks. And as you can see, those slots line up around the whole fort there on each level. And they even have them on the very top peak there. But let's take a quicker look in here, guys. All right, let's take a walk into the fort here. I'm not sure if you guys are gonna be able to see me in here. It's pretty dark, but let's walk our way up here and take a good bird's eye view from the top of it anyway. So I'm just getting to the second level here. Turn this around here, I'll show you where all these light is coming through here. This is where the soldiers would stick their rifles through, and they were pretty well protected then from being shot at. It'll probably be pretty windy up there, so I'm not going to talk a whole lot once I get up on the top there, but I'll take you with me as we climb up there and give you a quicker look, guys. All right, making my way up. It's a little intimidating. I'm not the biggest fan of heights. I'm sure the wind's kicking in pretty big, so I'll just show you. Hey! Over there is Bismarck. And that's the Missouri River that separates Bismarck and Mandan. We are on the Mandan side, obvious. And way over there is where our van is parked. That's the first initial fort right there that we saw when we came in here. And how this used to be set up is there would be a fence line that connected these forts together, and these forts were on the outside edges, and you know, there was like a little town or community that was protected in the middle there. And they had several battles with Native Americans attacking and soldiers going out to attack. I'm not sure if you guys heard any of that at all because it's pretty windy, but we'll head our way down and then we're going to go over to the Mandan Native American Earth Lodges, and then we'll check out the Custer House. Okay. Okay, we are out in front of the museum area at the park here, and right over here is the bridge we got to cross to get over to the Indian mounds. Kristen had to go back to the van to get the dogs to stop barking. We usually have to bribe them with a treat and then get out of their sight as fast as we can, or they'll sit and howl and pretty much force us to come back and bring them. So hopefully this time it works. Come, get them to be quiet.
Yeah.
So we'll take just a mosey on over this bridge here, and we'll show you some Native American Earth Lodges. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe these Earth Lodges were actually here before the fort itself was here. The fort was built later. This is just kind of a remake of how the Native Americans lived around this area back in the day. Did a lot of farming, agriculture type of stuff, and a lot of fishing right along the river. Okay, so we have a little plaque here that talks a bit about the history. Apparently they've done an excavation around here, and in this site alone there was about 75 earth lodges that they uncovered. And this place was occupied in the period of 1650 to 1750. And then eventually they started moving down south in later years. But here's a quick view of the earth lodges here. That one in front of us is the main one, or the biggest one here. It's supposed to be a replica of like the main earth lodge in the community where the majority of the stuff was talked about. And as I remember, I think this is the one you can go in. It's pretty dark, so I'm not sure how well you guys will be able to see. But they're pretty neat. Oh, looks like there's quite a bit of light coming in from the top. So this would be where the majority of the ceremonies and the tribe would congregate when they had to talk about important topics that affected the tribe. Fire pit in the middle of the lodge here, with the opened up roof. It's really quiet in here, isn't it? Just deadens all the sound. It's actually a really pretty neat way to build a structure out of the earth right here. I'm sure from above it'd be pretty camouflaged. But let's go take a look in one of the smaller huts. It kind of gives you a better look at how they had them set up, you know, how each family would have them set up. This is more of just an open spot in here where they would congregate, and they wouldn't really live in here so much. Maybe the chief would, but one of these you can get a better look of how they were set up. Welcome to Fort Abraham Lincoln. The year is 1875. We're gonna walk over to the Custer house there, walking along this boardwalk, which is reported to be haunted by numerous reports. Apparently people hear crying and wailing coming from this boardwalk, which people believe are coming from the wives of the soldiers who never came back from the Battle of the Little Bighorn. This is the location. In fact, there's a plaque down that way, which I'll give you a quick look of, and that's the spot which they initially left to where the Battle of the Little Bighorn took place at. The house itself is reported to be haunted. I'm not quite sure how accurate that is, but anyways, it's a pretty nice old Victorian style house. I was talking about for the Custer Trail. This is the starting point of the ill-fated 1876 campaign. It was from this point that the troops marched on May 17th, 1876, west to the Little Bighorn River in preparation for departure, and while the band played, Gary Owen, the 7th Cavalry, paraded to the south of this marker. The troops filed out through the ravine to the west of this marker and formed marching columns just southwest of the infantry post. So they pretty much filed through this way and went down that way, and pretty much the whole Interstate I-94 all the way to Montana is pretty much parallel to the route that General Custer and his soldiers or cavalry took on their way to the Battle of Little Bighorn. And I'm not sure how many miles that is, but they made it in a pretty remarkable amount of time, considering that most of them were walking on foot in the dead of summer, nonetheless. But anyways, guys, that's just a quick look here at Fort Abraham Lincoln on the Mandan side here of the Missouri River. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.